G'day and welcome back for more Space Engineers Survival. And as promised, today I'm going to try and dig out the center of the old bunker site and see if we can start setting up for the silo. And I'm just trying to think of how I should do this. I think the first thing I should probably do is what I was talking about last time and grab one of... where is it? I want a button. Where are my buttons at? Oh, there they go. I might just use... I think it's that one? Yeah. Pop this button just down outside because I am sick of having to go through the console to open the doors. There we go. Trigger now on the open and... ta-da! We have working doors from the outside without me having to go through all the menus, which is nice. I'm going to need to take a few bits and pieces with me up to the bunker site. I've loaded up a few bits and pieces, so that should be enough to get me out of here. Now, do I have a door control on this? Ooh. Do I even have a programmable block for the door control? I don't think I do. Right. Well, that would be a first thing to do. Unless I can't get out the front door. Let's try that again. Where shall I pop a programmable block on to the nugget? I don't feel like I have many good options on the nugget, so I'm just going to place the programmable block here. It'll work. It's not pretty, but it'll work. Now we're good to go. Whee! I am very happy that we've got doors that are actually working and I'm using them. They've been sitting there idle for so long. It's so nice. So very, very nice. Now, I do have some functional batteries up here, and I'm hoping to use them to power the drilling rig that I'm going to build. Since I'm going to grind down the rest of this base. In fact, I should have the inventory space to grind it down with the nugget. Which might be a good idea. Save me grinding by hand. As long as I don't accidentally grind down the batteries. That I've just got to be careful about. Because this new base is going to be an entire rebuild. There's pretty much not going to be any of it visible from the surface. Uh-oh. Is that going to fall all the way down? No. Good. Oh, now it is. I ain't chasing that. In some small way, it's sad to get rid of the bunker. I kind of liked the style that it ended up with, but you can't get too attached to things that don't actually work. I'd much prefer to get attached to ugly things that do work. Like Igor and the Ugly Duckling. I am hoping I can get the drill to go straight down in between these batteries. But I guess to do that I should probably make some attachment points to the terrain that are a bit further away. Maybe something like that should do the trick. That way if I stop supporting either battery with voxels, they should... hopefully not fall all the way down into the pit that I dig. There we go. So, we are going to need a drill, well, more than one piston we are certainly going to need. Where are our pistons? Pistons, pistons, pistons. That's right. So we need pistons and we need connectors. Or a connector, since I think I'm going to end up having to drill this out with the mode that's actually going to collect materials, which is kind of annoying, but it's not going to be that hard in this position to just eject the stone out the side. So let's do something relatively simple to start off with. We'll go straight up, give ourselves plenty of room for a number of pistons. Then piston 1, like so. Piston 2, that's 8 blocks, 12 blocks. Yeah, this should be plenty of pistons. This is actually going to look kind of cool when it's done, I think. Seeing all the stone getting ejected down the hillside. And what the heck. Let's just build a whole bunch. That way we should be able to go deep enough down in this that I'll be happy. Then on the end, very simply, a single drill. I am a bit worried about this drill. Since it's right next to this battery, I hope that it won't be able to damage it because it's a subgrid of the grid that the battery's on, and subgrid damage is off. So we will just have to see, but just in case, I'm going to note that my hydrogen is getting on the low side of things, and I am going to connect it to this battery as well, which is in a bit of a safer position. Is that about where I want to drill down? Yeah, I think so. I think that'll be as good as we're going to get. With the pistons, all we need it to do is at the top have a couple of conveyor blocks out to... yeah, that'll do. Then a connector. And of course. Of course. Ah!
Health critical.
Holy moly. What the? I was just saying that the hydrogen was low. I didn't think it was that low. I can't believe I survived that. Ah, I thought for sure Shaq had jinxed me by saying that I hadn't died in my survival series yet. Oh, 3 health. 3. What? What is going on? How did I not die? I fell 140 meters. Wow. Just so many times wow. And I really hope I can get off this cliff by crouching and walking down. I'm gonna have to walk all the way back home. Oh man. That was incredible. Oh. 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 My heart is pounding. This, I'm just gonna warn you guys that this episode I might be a bit more derpy than usual. I may have stayed up late last night playing multiplayer. Like the new test, and it went very, very well and was a lot of fun. But it's also meant that I haven't slept much. So it's probably going to be a bit similar to the Goose episode where I was using every merge block that I could possibly build because I kept grinding off things that I wasn't supposed to, and I probably shouldn't have been doing that. But if we get lucky like that again, it should be okay, I guess. Now for the long walk home. Oh man. Oh man. Too much thrill. Too much thrill for this time of day. I think the first stop will be the medbay. I am going to make sure I have all of the health possible available for the inevitable next fall. And I really will need to do a little correction to this medbay at some point. As funny as it is that I've left it upside down for this long, there is about a 50% chance that when I spawn in Reggie, he just immediately dies because it's upside down. I think the head of the player gets lodged in these blocks or something. Or maybe it's because it's right against the refinery. I'm not sure. But either way, its current position is very, very bad. Full health. And de-stress with the lovely elevated music. So soothing. It's such a pity that You Spin Me Right Round Baby is copyright protected, because it would be perfect for the turntable. So perfect. Alright, let's head back up and finish off this little bit of construction. Did I even manage to place the connector before I fell? I did not. All pistons finished. Connectors ready. I need to get this out of the way because I don't think it will be safe from the drills. Might just go park it over here. That was less level than I thought it was. Oh well, it's okay. It's okay. It survived. Alright. Now, to get this to work. This is going to be interesting. I want to make sure all of these pistons extend very slowly. Let's go minus 0.2. Okay. Then we're going to turn our connector to throw out and collect all. Turn our drill on. Yep, the battery's intact, that's good. Subgrid damage is off and that's making it safe. Everything is wobbling around like crazy, so I'm going to share the inertia tensors. There we go. Now, I want to watch this from a bit closer. So let's start with the first piston. Reverse. I'm interested to see just how big this hole is. I'm not sure it's going to be as large as I think, but it looks like... Actually... No, I reckon that'll be about right. It's just slightly larger than one block, which will be plenty of room for a missile to launch through, I think. But maybe I should... Maybe I will think about making it a bit bigger. We'll see. I'll drill it out long so that I can get a really clear idea. Okay, let's extend the next one. Oh, that's right. That's what that thudding was. Look at that. Awesome. Bang. Bang. I don't think I'm going to be needing all of these pistons. 5 might have been overkill. Heck, 4 might be overkill. Just quietly, I'm starting to suspect that my joy in doing this is me trying to get a little bit of a taste of what I would do if I was using the Deep Ores mod. Building drilling rigs like this all over the place. I'm going to build this control station. Then I'm going to see if I can go with weapons and tools. Pop that on the hotbar. Then... grab all our pistons and have reverse, bring them all back up. Ooh, I didn't actually think about that. Those pistons are rubbing straight on that battery. And yet it's all still working. That was lucky. I totally didn't think about that being an issue at all. And I also need a toggle on off. We're going to toggle that off. Then I want to see what happens if I use the right-click drill as we gradually extend all these pistons. So I reckon that's going to be about the size I was looking for. I was wanting something kind of large so that I could use this for other purposes in the future if I wanted to. Unfortunately, I have to do this manually, so I have to hold down the right-click because I don't know that there's another way to do it. Yeah, that's the size. I could probably extend these much faster, but I want the edges of this tunnel to be as smooth as I can possibly get them. And so I figure if I go really, really slowly, it'll maximize the number of updates on the voxels as we go through. So I should get this... Well, I hope I get the cleanest edges possible. Because there are some times where the voxel updates will happen late and you'll get this kind of chunking effect. Like it looks like a bunch of bytes have been taken out of the voxels as you go through. And I really didn't want that look on the tunnel. I didn't want it to look like a caterpillar from the inside. Definitely glad I attached those armor blocks to the batteries though, because I did just drill straight under that one that's sort of in the way. But this is definitely the size I was hoping for, because then I can build some cool looking blast doors. Even though the size that I did before, I probably could have done something like even just used a plain sliding door and just made sure that the missiles were nice and small. I do have a plan in mind for the blast doors that I want to have enough room to pull off. Wow, those are bouncing out of there a lot. Wish I could see down there better. Oh, yeah. I was thinking that this was going to be too deep a hole, but you know that feeling or that shot that's often in sci-fi shows where, or, you know, submarine things where you kind of have the camera zooming out through the torpedo tube or something, or the launch tube and things like that. If I make this hole deep enough and we're launching from low enough down, we should be able to achieve that effect with the camera on the nose of the missile as we fly out, which should look really cool and may well be worth the extra effort of digging down this deep. Oh, that'll be awesome if it works. I love stuff like that. Basically anything where I can do something a little bit styled and cinematic. That's the sort of stuff that I really enjoy messing about with sometimes. Alright, that looks like the hole is done. Now I can make use of the nugget and I can clean up all of this. Let's have a look at this from the bottom. Oh yeah. Yeah, we can totally get that effect with this. And grind away the drilling platform. You have served your purpose. You have served it very well. I might want to leave one of the frames around here. Just so that I've got a... Oh, that was a bad idea. Oh, it survived the drop though. Uh-oh. Rats. That didn't go well. I did not approach this grinding project very sensibly. This is the sort of derpy behavior that I was talking about. Is this connector even going to survive? Am I even going to survive? Oh. What are you doing, Splitsie? Okay. 4 hours sleep is not adequate for me to be functional. Oh, man. Smash the nugget into the ground, smash my face into the ground. What's going to be next? I really shouldn't drive the goose today. I think that would be a very bad idea. I'm going and parking. Oh, no, I do need to grind away the rest of this thing. Let's just get it done. Ugh. That was a shocker. Absolute shocker. I felt like I did well last night. Not doing so well now. Drilling rig did its job and has been mostly ground down, apart from the bits that I blew up. Hoi. Oh no, too fast. Slow down, slow down. Okay, good. I am liking having this bridge. I think the street lamps actually look kind of cool. Even though I had this imagined as a whole, like, hidden base sort of feel. I still think it kind of has that secure base feel, even though it's not entirely hidden. I'll have to keep thinking on that one, whether I'm happy to have all those lights out there. Oh, that's right. That's something I need to do. I need to put those lights into the group that get controlled by Izzy's solar script. Like the ones that are flashing outside, the street lamps don't need to be on during the day, so they can get turned off as well. I think this one shows up as just interior light. Is that right? Yep. And then the rest of these should be the most recent ones placed. So 102. So right down to 95. So 95 and that's one that's not got a number. Okay. So interior lights. It'll be that one. That. And that. Cool. Those are going to be called Z Lights Bridge. Oh, Z Lights. Yeah, that'll be fine. And I agree. That's too intense. Let's drop it back. Save that. Now I have to try and remember how on earth you do it with the solar script. How on earth you control it. To fallback, base light management. Okay. Okay, so I just got to put the name of them in here, which will be Z Light. Jeez, cannot type. Z Lights Bridge. Check code. Okay, remember and exit. And all the lights turned off. Yay! Cool. So those are going to be working just fine as they are now. I am going to get some extra light, I think, coming through these catwalks. I just haven't worked out how to do that yet, but that is on the cards. Now, for this missile silo, let's have a look at what we're going to do. How deep does it go from the out compared to the outside? It's hard to kind of figure it out. So let's go and grab a GPS marker. And I'm going to hop outside and see where that lines up. Ow. Okay, that's not too bad. It's only a little bit below the ground level here. And I think it could be nice popping out the side, this side, to have the landing pad and access way there. So that's going to work. I'm going to fly back and I'm going to fill up my other hydrogen bottles since I've only got one, and I'm not expecting I would survive a fall like I just did before. Ever again. Falls like that are a one of a kind. It's one of the nice parts about drilling straight off the grid, the large grid, is that all of this has stayed aligned. So this 3x3 gap is actually perfectly centered in the hole. Now, there is something I'm hoping to do in the future, but I bet I don't have the parts on me to be able to test and see if it's going to work. So what I was worried about was that I wouldn't be able to place LCDs intersecting with voxels, but I can, which is awesome. Which means I can do the thing that I was wanting to do. But now I just got to work out how. How can I make it work? Oh, I wonder. So, the thing I am planning on doing with LCDs is totally ridiculous, but should be a fair bit of fun. I am planning on making it so that the LCDs that are in this hole show a picture, and we might even consider loading a few different pictures that form a little bit of an animated sort of thing, so that it looks like there's a lava pit in here. I'm going to put lava pit pictures on all of the LCDs. So what I've got to work out how to do is how on earth I can get a blast door that's covered in LCDs into this gap. And I think if I go with armor slopes around the sides like this and have a hole created where I can then bring something up from underneath and close it in, I should be able to achieve the look that I'm after, because the LCDs will be slightly stepped down for this center bit, but I should be able to get them in there. Not exactly the most armored blast door, but I reckon it could look, at the very least, hilarious, if not cool. I really want to keep this 3x3 area completely clear, so I may have to drill out a little bit more into the side of the hill here. But my idea would be we have the door kind of drop away to the side. Okay, here's the problem I've got. I want to have this lava pit covering the whole thing. I want to have LCDs on the door, which means I can't use blast doors as the door. Since the LCDs are going to take up the full frame, I have to kind of bring them into place and just kind of get them as close as I can. Which means a setup like this should work, where I can kind of swing a door up and it'll sit just below the level of that lip. And that door will have 3x3 LCD panels on it. I also would ideally like to keep this 3x3 space clear so that we've got a nice large launch window area sort of thing, rather than being too close to the walls. And since I'm going to put this lava covering on top, I really don't want any of the machinery outside, which means all of the machinery has to be inside. And if it's going to be inside, I can't quite work out how to do it just now. Oh, I know how we can do this. So I am going to have to drill into the side wall from one direction. But if I have two rotors with a straight section in between and the LCD panels attached to a piston, I can tuck the whole contraption away by turning the rotors the correct way, then turn them back, get it perfectly, once it gets perfectly level, the piston extends and covers up the hole. I would even be able to build such a contraption way down near the bottom and have it extend all the way up. Which I don't intend to do, but I could certainly build it deep enough that I won't be popping out the side of the mountain to hide that contraption. Be incredibly complex to build, which is, you know, right up my alley. But it will be something I will hold off on until we get our missile launch sort of set up a little bit further along the line. I won't build the blast door right at the beginning, which is what I was planning on doing, but if it's going to be this complicated, it's probably not a good idea. I'm actually going to leave this be for the rest of the episode. The reason for that is, like previously, I want to kind of do this missile silo properly, and I figure the best way to do it properly is tell you guys my plans, explain how I think I can get something to work, and then get feedback on it. Get feedback on it before I even build the thing. Because many heads are better than one in this case, I think. Trying to do it all myself and then going, oh yeah, I have to redo that bit. Basically, I feel like I learnt a lesson from the grinder pit. I should have talked my way through it, gotten the feedback and then built it, rather than built it, got the feedback and had to rebuild it several times over. It probably would have ended up being a lot better if I'd done it that way. So I'm going to try and do it that way for this silo. Plus, I do love getting the ideas from you guys because some of them are incredibly awesome. That's why I've got a notebook full of them. So, while we're thinking on that, I am going to build this spot for the bin chicken. Finish it up properly. First step on that is get the connector properly hooked up to the conveyor system. So, a key part of the bin chicken's name is bin. And we don't really have any bins around here. So I'm going to build some. And I think the best way to do that is going to be use these catwalk opens. I'm not sure exactly how to lay it out right now though, to be honest. Maybe we'll go with 1, 2. Can we get away with putting these here? Yeah. 3, 4. Do it like this and create a nice little 2x2. I could go bigger, couldn't I? I'll just go 2x2s. Same over here. That'll sort of work. So, a couple of bins like this. And what I'm going to do in the center of one of them, I don't think I'll do it with any more than just one, is I am going to put a rotor in and then put a small grid landing gear on it. I think it'll be really cool to have some bits of scrap attached to this. And if we use a landing gear and a locked rotor, it should be relatively stable to keep it there. Oh, actually, not a standard rotor. I want to use an advanced rotor. The reason I want to use the advanced rotor is that it'll kind of fill that gap a bit better. The gap that's between the edges of the block and here. So it won't be quite as obvious that there's a rotor hidden there. But I think with the scrap and with all of these catwalks properly built, you won't see that anyway. So, if we got those bins there, then we can put another set of bins. Maybe we go with there, like that. Yeah, 3 sets of bins, and then what we will do is have our connector somewhere here. If I bring the bin chicken back over, I can have a look at where it will fit. And I've left that gap in between the bins for a couple of reasons. One, just so that I'm not obstructing too much of this area. But 2, because that's where I'm going to put the walkway that allows you to walk up to the bin chicken. So if it's sitting there, I can use a connector built from here. Cool. So we'll get you out of the way again. Now, I really hope we're not going to drill through into the grinder pit. Sweet. Connector is ready to go. Let's just make sure I have actually placed that in a spot I can fit the bin chicken. There we go. Lock it away. Cool, that's going to work. I think for this connector, I'm going to do something a bit differently to what I've done on the other ones. I think I'm going to actually surround it by these catwalk opens, similar to the way that the conveyor tubes on the Gatling turrets are surrounded by them. Suppose what I could do, I think it's probably going to be the best plan, is place a corner light like that to create the attachment point for that. That'll kind of box it in, and it'll fit in with these other little crates, the bins that are around here, I think. And then the last thing I need to do is just build a nice ramp here, similar to what's in the other sections. And I may need to move the bin chicken out of the way so that I can place this and then bring it back in. Place that like that. Nice little scaffold. And one of those. And I should be able to park. It's a little bit sketchy, but it works, mostly. It's probably not my best design thing because that thruster is a little bit in the way. What I probably should have done was move the whole connector back a block so that I can bring this up, and I think I will do that. So let's just fix that up nice and quick. With that connector moved, I think that'll give us a bit of a better spot to park. Yeah, that's so much better. What that's kind of done is made it so that the ramp, instead of leading up straight into the engine, leads up straight to the cockpit, which is perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Cool. Oh, actually, let's not put a corner light there. Let's put a corner LCD there. That'll be more useful. Then we can use that as like a label at some point once I start fiddling around with those sides of things. Yeah. Much better idea. Should have thought of that straight away. Get a few railings in here. Make it all feel nice and safe. Oh, is there a block for what I'm trying to do? I think there is. Yeah, there is. Railing double. That will work nicely there and here as well. I'm quite happy with how that's turned out. The bin chicken has bins. Let's get this rotor done, and then we'll go out and collect a little bit of salvage to drop onto it. With that there, I can do this. Where is a landing gear? Do I even have one? Probably not. We want landing gear. Landing gear, landing gear, landing gear, landing gear. So I'll put one landing gear in the... probably in the middle like that. And then I can put a couple of bits of armor plate around the outside just to fill the hole a little bit. And this is why I went with the advanced rotor, because I've got these extra attachment points that are at the right level for what I'm trying to do. I think it might let me get away with this. Yeah. Not sure what to do in the corners though. Wonder if maybe we can get... no, it won't let me place those in there. Oh well. Still think... oh, actually I could do things like that. Place some extra random bits around those corners just to hide them a bit more. That certainly works. Okay, let's go hunt down a suitable piece of salvage. Ah, this could be the sort of thing I'm looking for. Let's turn off the turrets just in case. Maybe... oh, something's flashing over there. What's that over there? Probably shouldn't lean in quite so close to the mic. So that's another similar piece. Yeah, that could work too. May as well grab it. I kind of like these larger bits with a bit of jagged edges of all of the damaged bits of armor and that sort of thing. And maybe this glowy, flashy one. And that, I think, will be plenty. My idea would be to, if I want to put more than one bit in there, place one bit, get it locked down, build a new landing gear onto that section, lock it on, etc., etc. and have them all locked to each other. Which may not actually be the best thing, if I think about it carefully, because that's kind of cascading... yeah, that'd be cascading landing gears. So a landing gear attached to a landing gear attached to a landing gear attached to a rotor that is a small grid conversion rotor as well. Oh well, we'll see how it turns out. I'm sure it'll be fine. Man, that is so much easier with the lights on the bridge. Is the door open? Yep, good. The command sent. I probably could just drop these in here, actually. I just kind of don't like the idea of having several loose physics objects in my base. It's probably irrational, but it just seems like something that would be a bad idea. Although that didn't work out remotely like I planned it. Oops, wrong button. Turret's on. It's not remotely like I planned it at all. It is kind of cool to have that salvage sitting here in a bin. And you definitely can't tell easily that there's a rotor under there. Even though the rotor is doing absolutely diddly squat. Oh no, it is locked one. Has locked one of them. But I'm just going to leave those bits as they are. I think that's kind of cool. Turn off my lights. Turn off the bin chicken's lights. Oh, I'm going to need extra lighting in here, aren't I? It just kind of feels too dark where the bin chicken's sitting. And it seems like this would be the ideal situation to have an extra warning light down here. So, there we go. That looks better. Proper lighting fixes everything. Now that is a bin chicken parking spot that you can be happy with. Today is going to be a shorter video than normal, and that's because I'm also going to get out this weekend an edited version of my Steam stream that I did on the store page. It was about 6.5 hours. It was an amazing amount of fun. And for those of you who missed it, I want to put together a little video to show you what is coming in the multiplayer update, since most of the video was me playing in the multiplayer test. And it was so much fun. It was just amazing. Randomly ran into Captain Shaq while I was on there. Had a great time with him. Played with some awesome people for hours on end. We managed to build a bunch of bases. But you'll see all of that in the video that will hopefully be out tomorrow. Maybe even today if I get round to it. We'll see how it goes. On Wednesday, we'll get back to building the silo and putting it together properly. So there's that. And plenty more to come. So I'll see you then.